The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And I tell you what, you see, got my main man here, Dr. Michael Mantell. We're talking 360-degree health. And first of all, I want to wish everybody out there a happy new year before we even get this started. But we got a super show in store for you. How you doing, Dr. Mike? How you doing today?
Doing great. It's been a great year. We're ready to say goodbye and say hello. Click of the clock and everything starts over again. So we're looking forward with hope for a healthy, happy new year.
Hey, how you doing, Dr. Cooley?
I'm doing good. Yes, we're about a good less than 8 hours before we bring in the new year. So
New Year. How you doing, Todd? How you doing back in California studios?
I'm always good, James. Happy New Year. Wishing everybody a healthy and wealthy 2025.
Yeah.
Hey, Todd, let's get all the platforms locked in. Let's get this started.
All right, here we go.
Check it out. It's your life with Dr. James Cooley.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And my guest co-host here, Dr. Michael Mantell. We got an absolutely fantastic show coming your way today. We got this. Yes, I'm telling you. You might want to get ready. Get ready. Go out there, grab 8-9 bags of popcorn because he's going to educate us. And I'm not going to give it away, Michelle, on AI. Something to do with AI. And that's all I'm going to say right now because, Dr. Mike, we said too much. Michelle's going to beat us up.
Yeah. But we don't even know if that's really Michelle. That could be AI.
Could be AI. One thing, Doc, I want to welcome a new member of the J.C. Cooley family and AM 660, The Answer in Dallas. It's our first debut with them today. I was on the air with them for about three years, maybe 3.5 years ago. We're back. So I want to thank Zena and all of them, for giving us this opportunity. But, I got my main man, Todd, in our California studio, KCBQ. AM 1170 Answer, and I tell you, we got a great show coming your way today. And let me put this out right before I pass it to Michelle. If you want to be part of this conversation that we got with this absolutely fantastic guest that Michelle is going to introduce in a minute, all you have to do is just pick up the phone, dial 1-888-344-1170, or go to the platform, or over 68 live platform that you're watching us on. And just go to the comments, ask any questions that you might have. And I promise you, we'll get you an answer. Dr. Cooley, I'm excited. You can tell. Can you please introduce the title, the purpose, and introduce this great guest? So me and Dr. Mike can just, we don't have to pick his brain.
Well, yes. So, audience, it's 360-degree Health Day today. And the topic is AI healthcare and AI everyday user. And we're having a conversation with Dr. Harvey Castro. He's an AI futurist, healthcare visionary, and author. He's going to talk about how AI is revolutionizing patient care, empowering healthcare professionals, the potential of generative AI and predictive analytics in preventive care and chronic disease management, and how AI can assist in daily tasks such as time management, enhanced productivity. So, Dr. Harvey Castro is a trailblazer at the intersection of artificial intelligence and healthcare, combining over 20 years of experience as an emergency medicine physician with his passion for transformative technologies. A sought after keynote speaker, best-selling author, 23 books. Wow. And an AI strategist. He is recognized for his ability to break down complex AI concepts into actionable insights for audiences worldwide. He serves as an advisor to the Singapore Ministry of Health and Texas Medical Association. And as an AI futurist and innovator, he is committed to using technology to revolutionize medicine, creating a healthcare system that empowers patients and providers alike. You know what? There's so much to talk about him. I'm going to let him do it. So please welcome to the show, Dr. Harvey Castro.
Dr. Harvey Castro. Can I call you Harvey?
Oh, please do.
Oh, hey, well, you know we had to do that. Yeah. Previous introduction. Welcome to the show. It's an absolute pleasure having you on the show today, and most of the questions gonna come from Dr. Mike, but I'm gonna start this off and say, wow, a physician, AI combined, it's unheard of. And the things that you're doing is please tell our viewers and our listeners more about you. Where you grew up, what made you choose the medical profession, and what keeps you clicking because you're doing so many things.
Yeah, well, first of all, it is a true honor, and I love the energy here. So thank you so much for having me. Everyone so far has been just amazing. I know this is going to be a great show, and I want to thank everybody out there for taking time today on such a special day. And so, quick background: I grew up in New York City, as you can tell from this East Coast accent, and big picture, I literally have this passion for healthcare, and it all basically starts because when I was a kid, I had a horrible healthcare experience. I had this horrible scar on my hand, and it's just a constant reminder of why I'm a doctor. Big picture, I was in New York City. I was a kid. I loved Michael Jordan. I went up and hit a New York sign, it said "Do not park." And when I came down, it slashed my hand open. My mom took me to the emergency room. I was bleeding like crazy. And it took about 8 hours to see a doctor. And when the doctor finally saw me, he sewed me up with no anesthetic. And that scarred me to the point that I said, I will not be that doctor. I will be a passionate person. And that literally pushed me to become a doctor. And that trailblazer in me is just this constant passion that fuels how can I help? How can I help other people? And just to take it back just a little bit more, back in November 2022, I happened to be on my computer and happened to hit ChatGPT. And within the first couple of minutes, I said, this is going to change healthcare. This is going to make so many waves that I'm going to write a book on it. And within a couple of weeks, I had a book on how to use ChatGPT in healthcare.
Wow. We have to thank that sign, that Michael Jordan experience, and that sign in the streets of New York for where you are today. Sometimes we look at events like that and we curse them out, and we blame them, we're negative. But if we live at a higher level, we go, oh, wow, thank you. So yeah, I'm glad your hand healed, and I'm glad you're here to heal us. So I have a question. I want to go right to the beginning of it. We could talk about what brought you to AI, but something clicked when you saw ChatGPT. Let's get into it a little more deeply. I'm interested in what are some of the most promising applications of AI in healthcare today. When we think about this, like, what is this about? How is it helping healthcare today?
Yeah. Well, I see so many versions of that question, and I'll start with something personal. As an emergency room doctor, as much as I want to be on 24/7, ready to go, I'm going to say I'm also a human. So at 3 a.m, I am not at my best as opposed to when I just woke up ready to go. And the reason I like using this analogy is if I can have AI be that second pair of eyes, be that extra layer that I can go through and say, hey, the person's coming in with chest pain. I know this is what I do. But then to have that artificial intelligence to be able to say, you know what, Dr. Castro, you forgot to do X, Y, Z, or did you consider this other diagnosis? Having that power is huge.
So you're giving us, you're telling us how AI can improve diagnostics and treatment plans and patient outcomes. How are physicians picking up on that?
That's such a good question. When I first started this journey, I could honestly say I felt like I was the outlier. People were really talking about ChatGPT and how you applying this to healthcare, and they would give me these weird looks. And now I can say, okay, now doctors have heard of ChatGPT at least. Now they can understand. And I always say there's two flavors to AI. One side, everybody, all the doctors know, is when the X-rays are shot up or MRIs, and the AI is looking at those structures and saying, okay, we see pneumonia. The side that's new is this generative, this predictive analytics, this other area, and that's new. And so to answer your question, when I go around the country and now around the world, there's certain pockets of the country that give me resistance, and then some other parts of the country that are giving me hugs. Case in point, I could be in Silicon Valley giving a talk about AI in healthcare, and they're like, I got it, I see it. In fact, I'll program it for you. I could be in some parts of the country that they're like, whoa, this sounds like the devil. I want this guy out, or they're giving me these hard looks. And so I'm having to explain how it's going to help humanity, how it's going to be a big difference. And then by the end of the conversation, they usually come around and like, okay, I see your vision. I see your spin to this.
We got 2 minutes before the break, but I know, so I think you give TED Talks, so you do all of these wonderful things to educate the community. And right now you just said some of the responses, depending on where you're at, how they respond. But do you see a major change in 2025 and beyond once people get a better understanding of how AI can help out in the healthcare industry?
Yes, sir. I'm seeing so much investment dollars. Big hospital systems are now looking at this as a language model inside the hospital walls. I'm seeing different vendors create different parts of healthcare. You've already mentioned predictive analytics. So let's pretend it's flu season and we have an AI that's out there that's telling me the different outbreaks, and it's telling me as an ER doctor, like, hey, this is happening now. Quick case in point, I know we're about to hit a break. If there's, let's just say, some food poisoning going around, I may think it's food poisoning. But if the AI is monitoring the city of Dallas, now I can get a report saying, no, there's an outbreak in this restaurant, and these people are getting sick, and it's going around. And now in real time, we can go to that restaurant and say, hey, the outbreak's coming from here.
Hold that thought, Doc. We're going to take a station break, and whichever platform that you are watching us on or listening to some, if you listen to us on the radio, KCBQ AM 1170, The Answer in San Diego, or AM 660, The Answer in Dallas, all you have to do is pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. Or you can just go to the platform that you're watching us on and just join in on the conversation. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? In everything that you do.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you what, um, every time that we do 360 health, it's so much fun because we bring the best doctors in the world on this show, and we got two of them right here today. You know, and they educate us so much and educate you. If you want to be part of the conversation, I already told you how to do it. Just go to the platform that you're watching us on or listening to us on, or pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. Dr. Cool, I see you done joined us. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm enjoying the conversation so far, and it's only going into the second segment.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm gonna turn it back over to Dr. Mike.
Alrighty. So one of the things that we talk a lot about in healthcare, of course, are the HIPAA laws, the HIPAA rules, ethics about how we protect privacy. Let's talk a little bit about the concerns that the public and even other physicians may have about how AI may break into that and what we can do to address those concerns of privacy and even bias in AI.
Yeah, that's such a huge topic on so many levels. Number one, I always tell hospital system and doctors we need to be transparent. I know that when doctors sign into a hospital, they're signing away certain that they acknowledge certain things. But I know, as you know, when we go places, we sign and we don't really go through the fine print. But in that fine print, they're saying, "Hey, we are using AI." So I'm going to ask you guys, the audience, that when you do see a healthcare provider, if this is something, ask them, "Hey, are you guys using AI? And if so, how?" That way you're aware. Second, bias is big. And just to give you an example, if I am teaching you something, I am going to end up being biased in my opinion. I'm going to say, you know what, I see this and I see that, and I'm going to tell you that way. Same thing with the AI. AI is going to explain things the way it sees it and the way it was trained. So no matter what, we're all humans. We all see things a certain way. We all give it that spin. So depending on the AI, it's going to have that spin. Case in point, we're here in the United States. Most of us are here throughout the USA. But if this AI model that is trained on US data, US things, I use it out, let's just pretend in West Africa, it may not apply. It may not work at all because it's applying data that's here that may not apply in another data, and that would create a bias.
That's a great point. I think the point you're making, and I want the audience to hear that, a human may just be as biased as AI, and we have to be selective and careful and ask deeper questions regardless of where information is coming from. The cardiologist may be biased, thinking this is the right way to treat something, when that cardiologist says, no, this is the right way to do it. Now, speaking about that, you've tilted a little bit into the patient-physician relationship, which is a very important element as we grow forward in healthcare. How can AI help build a better doctor-patient relationship?
This is a good one, and I want people to know that none of these questions have been planned. These are
these are none of them.
So just so you know, this is actually, you hit my favorite topic. Honestly, my TED Talk is about this, and I think the number one application is simple communication. Case in point, I'm in Dallas, Texas. If I say, "Hey, let's use football as an example," and it's like kicking a field goal. If you're outside of the US and you hear football, you may be thinking soccer. There's a miscommunication. So my point is, if I can use AI to better customize the way I speak, how I speak, I'm more sensitive to your culture, to your geographical area, to your age group. I'm not being prejudiced. I am being more sensitive. So if I speak to you and I'm leveraging AI, now I'm communicating better with you. And if I can communicate better with you, then the idea is then we have a better communication, and I should be able to provide better healthcare because now there's that trust. Case in point, I grew up in New York City. I'm very sensitive with so many cultures because I grew up with all the different cultures, and I love going to my friends' houses because it's like, man, Chinese food tonight, Thai food tomorrow, and I just like learn all these cultures and everything. And so when I go out and see patients, it's a lot easier for me to communicate because I'm so sensitive aware. Now, if I have AI to help me supplement, that's a quick example how communication can be so important using
You,
AI.
men- you mentioned communication. I think is so important. From a doctor patient, just like you were doing. For the patients out there, I mean, this new thing, AI. Uh, would you recommend, or is it coming down the pipeline that if a person have a minor injury or a cold or a cough or whatever, and they can explain that, would you recommend that they look it up on AI and have a better understanding when they do see the physician on what could be the potential problems?
Yeah, and I'm glad you worded it that way because there's two sides of this. I am very worried if people use AI and keep the human out of the loop, or let me say specifically, keep the doctor or healthcare professional out, because now that data is with that person. If they're not a doctor or healthcare professional, they don't know if that is correct or not. Going back to the bias or hallucination that we talk about. Do I recommend it? I chuckle because I created my own AI that I give to my patients. And I say, before you see me, use this AI to figure out what questions you have, follow up, really mold out our conversation. Because unfortunately, the US average is 13 minutes with your doctor. So, guess what? If you come in ready to say, you know what, I have diabetes, hypertension, here are my questions, here's my follow up, now you can really be proactive and like get the most out of that time together, as opposed to just looking at each other. It was like, how was your day? How's sports? Like you're there because you want to talk to the expert. You're there because you want the best help. So let's make that the best help using AI.
There was a study done a while ago. I'm sure you're familiar with it, but for our audience, they asked AI and they asked physicians to respond to concerns that patients might have, and then they asked people which response, without them knowing who was who, sounded more sensitive. And to your point earlier, no surprise, the AI responses were rated and judged as more sensitive. Now, the patient didn't know that was from AI. They didn't know it was from a doctor or AI. But I think there's something uh, that physicians can learn about in terms of sensitivity. Now, the idea of you giving your patients a chat GPT link and saying, here's how to use it, and definitely go to it before you come to me. I'm interested in your thoughts about how AI is going to redefine the role of healthcare professionals over the next period of time.
Yeah. Well, I have a couple ideas, and I'll just show several. On my TED Talk, I talk about a discharge instructions for a child should be a coloring book. What are the core concepts that I'm trying to teach that kid? As you know, when you talk to a kid, especially like 3, 4 years old, they're like in and out, they want to go play. But if I hand them a coloring book and then it's all written out and I say, hey, let's color together, and all of this is customized using AI for that person, that child's going to get it. For a teenager, I make comic strips, and if it's examples for their discharge instructions. And then you'll like this. I'm working on a prototype where I'm putting AI into a plushie, and the idea in my mind is, say I have a kid with cancer and they're scared to go to the hospital. They have to get blood work and chemotherapy. What I'm going to do is program the AI into this, make sure that it's HIPAA compliant, make sure that it's safe. But now the child can say, look, I'm going to have an MRI. Tell me about this MRI. What is this? And now it uses a child's voice and has a conversation, and it's teaching me as a child. Now I get it. And so I'm really excited about doing this.
That's fantastic. Now, I assume that policymakers, the government, is going to step into this if they haven't already. What role, ideally, do you think that policymakers can play in the development and deployment of AI in healthcare in terms of funding and all this and that?
Yeah, that's such a big balance. I'm all about AI, but obviously, as a doctor, my heart is privacy, privacy, privacy. I need to protect my patients. And so, where can the government be? It's such a dicey issue. I want to see progression to the point where it's helping saving lives, but at the same time, I don't want to push it so much that we're now creating our privacy and violating certain things, or certain things are becoming easier. So it's that fine balance where, yes, I want to protect the patient, and I thank God we have HIPAA laws, and I want to make sure. Europe is really big on AI and using it really carefully and very conservative. California is. And so what is that nice balance to make sure that we're still moving forward, but we're also protecting? One of the things you mentioned is how is the future of healthcare? And I'll show you a couple of ideas. This is these AI glasses. In here is a teleprompter. There's AI. You can't see it, but then I can have a conversation with ChatGPT over here. If I was on stage giving a talk, I could, in theory, put on my whole transcript here. But then if I was using it for languages, I'll use another one. These are through Facebook Meta's glasses, and I have no stock in them. So basically, the AI is here. It talks to me in the back of my ear. And say you were speaking another language, then you would speak in, say, Spanish. It would translate, and I would hear it in English. And then I would speak it in English. It would translate it and tell me how to say it in Spanish, and then I would say it to you, or you would have an app to do it. So this would be a simple way how I could use something that's simple. Just now by mistake, I took a picture. It takes pictures. I can do video. I can say I'm really into trying to eat healthy. So I have a bag of nuts, and I look at it, take a picture, and be like, how many calories does this have? And it'll tell me. So simple idea of what the future looks like.
Wow. I almost don't want to take a station break.
I want those glasses.
So are you working with the manufacturer of these glasses with your programs? And if so, how much input do they give you? And we got about a minute and a half before the break.
Perfect. So I'm blessed in that I know my wife wants to kill me at times. Anytime a new product comes out, I'm like, honey, I'm getting it. And then I call the developer. I'm like, hey, can I get developer access? So I get access to things that maybe the general public doesn't. And my business partner has blessed me in that I lovingly call him my Wozniak. And I say, hey, I'm your Steve Jobs. And together we come up with crazy ideas and we build it. And so this was just like a prototype that we made, and we're coming through and adding value. These glasses over here, I'm literally calling the manufacturer if they give me access, because I have something called a digital twin, and we can talk about that after the break. But
I tell you what, we're going to take a station break, and I want to talk about all of these things. This is fascinating. I have never heard anything about this, especially glasses that you can put on and turn to a teleprompter and change languages. I tell you what, our viewers and listeners out there, I know you're intrigued. If you want to be part of this great conversation with Dr. Castro, Dr. Michael Mantell, Michelle and I, all you have to do is, you look watching us and listening to us on 2 different radio stations right now, KCBQ, The Answer, and San Diego, AM 660, The Answer in Dallas. So if you want to be part of that, all you have to do is just let us know. Call in, pick up the phone, or go to the comments and ask any question that you might have. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet. The true life coming of age story by James J.C. Cooley. Using humor, wit, and engaging storytelling, James paints a picture about his arrival in a rural deep south town and realization that life would never be the same. Cooley lays out his struggle to adjust from city life to country life and back again, sharing his hard-earned lessons to educate, encourage, and enlighten our next generation of leaders and heroes. Get your copy of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James J.C. Cooley, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
just like I have. In the new audio version of his book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, you can join James as he shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. This is a must listen for anyone who thinks they're stuck in life or needs to understand that their current situation is not their final destination. Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet is the unfiltered truth to provide hope for the future by challenging you to refuse to become a victim of life's circumstance and dare to become an overcomer, because a bigger, better, and more impactful life awaits you. Get the new audio version of his book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by Dr. James Cooley on Amazon or wherever books are sold.
Hello. Welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's live. I tell you, I am enjoying this discussion with Dr. Castro, Dr. Mike, always. And what a way to welcome in our AM 660, the answer in Dallas, to the James Cooley family, Dr. Mantell, and all. I mean, we have some of the best guests in the world. You're going to see. I mean, listen to Dr. Castro right now. I have never seen a medical doctor, and AI to my technology, both in the same body, that's educating the world. And I tell you what, you want to be part of the conversation, just like Dr. Charles Dury. He's got a question right here for you, of Dr. Castro. And if you want to be part of the conversation, all you have to do is just go to the platform where you are watching us, ask any questions, and I promise you we'll get you an answer.
And one of our viewers, Dr. Charles Drury, has a comment. He says, Dr. Castro, your out-of-the-box thought leadership in integrating AI with medical care is truly inspiring. By exploring innovative modalities and applications, you not only elevating the standard of care, but also enhancing the quality of communication and comfort for patients. Your dedication to advancing healthcare through cutting-edge technology is paving the way for a more compassionate and efficient medical future. Thank you for your visionary contributions to improving life. Can you comment on that, Dr. Castro, from Dr. Drury?
Well, first of all, thank you, Doc. Honestly, it means the world to me. At the end of the day, I don't make a salary. I don't get paid by anybody for this. It truly comes from my heart. I just want to help healthcare. I want to see how we can save lives. And when I see posts like this and comments, it really makes my day. Sincerely, this is what I live for. Because at the end of the day, we're only here for so long. And if I can make a little impact and help someone, I'm so happy. So thank you for sharing.
That's beautiful. That comes right from your heart. That's beautiful. I appreciate you saying that. And I hope that people will go to your website, harveycastromd.com, harveycastromd.com, and take a look at all your books and all the information you have, and be in touch with you, or at least your digital twin. I'm not sure. So I want to go into this a little bit more deeply. Preventive healthcare is a big area of concern of mine. I spent a lot of time talking, a lot of the shows that we do here are about how people can prevent illness, not just treat illness. Let's talk a little bit more about what AI can do to help promote the patient's ability to prevent illness. I know you talked about we can look things up, we can ask, ChatGPT and so forth. And there are others besides ChatGPT. That's just one. But let's talk about what role AI plays in preventing health issues.
Yeah, well said. So I wear a smartwatch, and this device is constantly talking to my phone, and it's telling me how often I'm sleeping or not sleeping. In fact, it's become a ritual now that if I wake up and it's too early, I look to see how many hours I have. And if it's not the right number, then I unfortunately stay in bed because I'm ready to go. But I'm like, for my health, this is best. Case in point, these technologies are getting bigger and bigger and better. My next TED Talk that I just got accepted, I'll be doing at the end of March in Boston. It's going to be changing the way we do things. There's something called edge technology. Just think of AI without the internet, just on your phone. And my vision is, let's change healthcare. And people talk about this. Let's change healthcare from a reactive healthcare where you only see the doctor when you're sick or when you need them to a proactive, meaning my phone just told me I didn't sleep enough. My phone just told me that my HRV and these variables are off, and maybe I need more sleep, or maybe I need to not go work out today, or maybe I need to just take a break from it all. And so these are ways how AI can really take me to the next level. Real quick, I'm working with a company that I'm one of the owners, and it's called Help. And the skinny is this: we're going to put monitors. We're already in hospitals, but we're going to put monitors in people's home to help them with the elderly. Case in point, I'm working. My mom's, let's just say, at home. I can't be there, but I have an AI that's going to tell me, "Hey, mom forgot to take her meds today. Hey, mom fell and she hasn't gotten up. Hey, normally she does this." And so we're working on these things to be able to help people.
If I'm a patient of yours, tell me what you share with me. I'm suspect about all this AI. I'm suspect about all this stuff. Tell me what do you say to me to help me as your patient feel comfortable using this? Because let's face it, most practices today are not embedded into AI the way you are talking.
Yeah, no, this well said. My favorite phrase is, it's about human plus AI working together to make something best. Case in point, if I'm your doctor, I'm going to be limited by my human factor. But if I'm leveraging AI and giving you the best care, and I'm using both, obviously with your permission, then I can offer more. Case in point, if I'm a doctor and I'm explaining these things and I'm using doctor words and maybe I'm trying my best to break it down, but I don't do a good job, if with your permission, I'm like, hey, let me get the computer out. Let's work this out together. And let me show you how this is important. Another example, say I'm working with you and let's say you refuse to take your medicine. What if I put VR glasses on you and now we go through and we're like, let's look at your heart together. Let's look at your blood vessels. Let's look at this CAT scan. Let's walk through together and let me show you what the damage you're doing. Now you get this visual and you're like, oh my God, I probably should take that pill now.
Harvey, it's amazing how I've been working on an idea for a long time, many years. Imagine we make ourselves upset. It should be different. It's horrible. I can't stand it. And we see we hear the watch hears us say that, and it says, "Hey, do you really think it should be different, or would you like it to be different? Is it horrible, or is it just I can't stand it? You really can't stand it? Or what if you had a scan that scanned you, and as you're making yourself angry about the guy who just cut you off on the road, it pops up and it showed you what your liver and your lungs and all your it showed you these things, and that's what you're doing." Amazing. It's incredible. What a gift. Really, truly a gift.
I feel very blessed, honored. Like I said, my heart's to help people, and that's my gift. Like someone like Charles saying thank you. I have this by my computer. It's another little gadget. It's like $200. I'm not promoting it. I'm just kind of sharing you an example. It's called the Rabbit. And what I could do is I can talk to it and say, hey, I'm giving a presentation. Draw this picture of a doctor on stage, and it'll do it. Or when I give talks, I do AI songs at the end. So I customize the song to the audience and where I'm at. And then I'll say, hey, I'm going to be in Texas. I need a country song saying thank you, everybody, for coming to hear me speak. And then it does a whole song, and then I play it for people.
Wow. I got to get one of them, Doc. That's going to make my presentation easier as well. And I'm looking at you, Dr. Mike. I saw the glimpse came like, wow.
Oh, yeah.
You speak
real quickly. How are physicians, where are physicians learning about this? Medical schools aren't teaching. Medical schools are barely teaching about nutrition or mental health, let alone this advancement. When is that going to come?
I pause and hesitate. Honestly, and I'm being biased when I say this, I feel like some administrations are holding on of old ways to the point where they're not letting the new things coming on board, and they're resistant to change. But the interesting thing is the newer doctors, the younger medical students, the pre-med, they're all into AI. They're knocking on the door, telling the med school, hey, when are we going to start using it? I was just speaking to a medical school, and unfortunately, one of the students was using AI and didn't report it. and said it was their work, but they could tell it was AI, and they're debating on firing this poor student. Now, here's the point. They told me, Harvey, how do we do this? We have all this intellectual property at our med school. We give it to med students, but the med students are uploading it to ChatGPT and giving it to them. How do we prevent that? So I'm working with them on ways on preventing that.
I would be remiss if I did not respond to Dr. Charles Dury. And I love the statement that he just, for the radio audience out there, what he said was each of you should use whatever gifts you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God and grace in the various form. 1 Peter 4:10. That is so true. That's how I feel. And I know each one of you feel the same way. And that's why we give back, and that's why we do things to help humanity, not just for ourselves, not just for the glory. So, Dr. Charles, thanks so much for that.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Charles. Amen. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, very important. And Harvey, you are living this. You are using the gifts in so many magnificent ways.
I feel blessed. Really
wow. We got about a minute before the break, and this conversation is so great. And things that you're talking about, discussing, just like what Dr. Mike said a second ago. All the physicians have to jump on board with this.
Yes.
And not just physicians, but schools, organizations have to jump on board, because what you are doing and what you are teaching and what you are inventing and working with all the different plants and organizations is incredible. So I tell you, we're going to take a station break, but we're going to come back. We're going to pick it up. We got a lot more, but we're going to talk to Dr. Castro and Dr. Mike about. And if you want to be part of the conversation, all you got to do is go to the phone. KCBQ AM 1170, answer. AM 660, the answer, 1-888-344-1170. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
A Black Man's Point of View is the newest Amazon.com #1 release and bestseller book from author Dr. James J.C. Cooley, featuring the perspective from 11 other contributing authors. In A Black Man's Point of View, Dr. James Cooley unpacks his thoughts and personal experiences about the challenges, stereotypes, and feelings of self-worth that many Black men face today due to a 400-year ancestry rooted in slavery and colonization. Yet, how so many Black men move forward despite this history. Most importantly, A Black Man's Point of View conveys that all men, regardless of race, creed, or color, are capable of love, respect, and dignity. Described as a map to a greater life from the heart of a man who's experienced life's misfortune and harsh conditions, James shows us how beliefs, convictions, and a healthy mentality can help propel a life worth living. A must-read for all. Order your copy of A Black Man's Point of View by author Dr. James J.C. Cooley today from Amazon.com or wherever books are sold.
Individuals and it's Dr. J.C. Cooley. Let's go. The James Cooley Show. It's your life.
Hello, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley from the United States of America, and I am here to just say, first of all, I'm so happy and honored to be on it
to be in the Coffee Book 2023. Unified Brain Z and the other organizations, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this collection.
Down to Rosati's Pizza Pub for your slice of Chicago right here on Rancho California Road, or order online at myrosatis.com. Rosati's, where Chicago deep dish pizza meets Temecula charm.
Hey, it's your life.
Hello, welcome back to
Doctor.
the Cooley Show. It's your life, and it's especially with Dr. Mike Mantell coming up with this incredible doctor and guest that's sharing so much technology. I tell you what, just like Dr. Mike said, we got to have this guy back on. If not, we'll have his robotic cell phone.
Right. We don't even know if this is real. That's a question I have, by the way. How do you know? How can the average person know if they're talking to a robot or not? How do we know if we're talking to AI?
Yeah, you know what's really scary is I know this technology is getting so advanced that I'm personally working on a program that we're about to release in about a month that you can we'll call you and we'll get your medical intake, and it's all with conversation. And I know you won't be able to tell the difference. In fact, I created my first podcast March of 2023, and I cloned my voice, and I could take any blog, and between my business partners, we have a fake conversation and we upload the file. And I even showed my mom, and she listened to it. And she didn't know it was robotic. It was all AI.
I think we're going to be doing that in the field of psychotherapy. And I think it's not going to be long before someone can actually have a session with the late Albert Ellis as if he's right here, or Sigmund Freud as if he's right here.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable. We
got a couple of questions from Dr. Charles, and this is the first one. And what is the reason behind your desire to improve lives in the fashions with technology? Everyone has a story, and I'm genuinely curious what inspired your journey into medicine. What prompted your passion for using innovative technologies to make such a profound impact? It's always fascinating to hear the personal motivation that drives such meaningful work. Dr. Castro, can you respond to that? Because he got a couple more questions that he got for you.
I grew up in an indigent home. My mom was 16 when she had me. My dad was illiterate. I literally was the first person to go to college in my family. And I literally come from nothing. And that humble beginning gave me this passion to help others. And I feel God has blessed me with gifts that have gotten me to where I am today. And I have this passion to just give those gifts back to the world and just share with my kids, share with my friends, share with my family, and just grow, because I feel so blessed that God gave me those gifts. That's what fuels me. My wife's asked me all the time, she's like, Harvey, are you going to retire? Are you going to stop? And I'm like, I will retire when I pass away. And when I'm 80 or 90, I tell my kids, don't come visit me in the nursing home. Go to the room next door or the other one, because I'll be probably next door helping the next person. I'll be their doctor still at the nursing home, because I'm not going to stop.
He got another question for you. You want to read that, Dr. Mike?
Sure. Dr. Charles Drury, who's becoming a regular questioner of yours here. Artificial intelligence is only as good as its data. Preventing bad data requires robust validation, regular audits, and advanced filters. Sounds like he knows a lot about this. Clear accountability led by qualified data stewards ensures accuracy and builds trust. How do you make this happen to share quality care and ensure validity?
Yeah, great question. And so from that point of thing, there's something called data drift. Think of it this way. If I'm doing an AI model, after a certain amount of time, let's think of it as it expires. So how do you prevent it from expiring? You have to have a data scientist analyzing that data, making sure that the data is not biased, making sure that it's doing the purpose, making sure that that data hasn't drifted. And you have to have, especially in healthcare, a doctor, healthcare professional, making sure that the model is still doing it. So point, a big answer here is it's a team approach. We need data scientists, we need doctors, and we need to make sure that these models are doing what it's supposed to do. And the good thing is when it comes to medicine, the FDA also is regulating, and there's a lot of safeguards here to make sure that this is done correctly.
2 quick questions. We only have a couple minutes left. You are speaking at the Consumer Electronics Show. I don't know how many physicians can claim that they've ever done that before. And January 9th, you have got a new book coming out, A Blueprint for Humanity's Exponential Leap. Tell us about CES and the new book real quickly.
Yeah, so CES, I am so honored. I cannot believe I'm going to be on the world stage speaking. And again, it's about how we can use spatial computing. So like these VR glasses I showed you, and how we could use that in business. I'm really stoked. So if you happen to be in Vegas, please hit me up, come to the show, and I'll see you there. And then this book, I'm really honored. 2 of my friends were working on it. They're like, Harvey, we want you to be part of this. And the big picture is we see technology exponential. We see so many things happening. And so it's our predictions of things that we will see in the year 2030. So it's actually a pretty fun read. It's really deep, but it's kind of fun because it's going over all these different verticals of how technology is changing, how the world's going to be different by the year 2030. We're going to talk a lot about robots.
Fantastic.
Well, I want to get this in real quickly, turn it back over to you, Dr. Mike. But I'll tell you, if you missed this show that we have right now, first of all, go to the YouTube channel and watch it again. Also, you get an opportunity to listen to it again Sunday in California, KCBQ AM 1170, The Answer FM 94.1, and San Diego KCBQ, and also in Dallas at AM 660, The Answer at 6 p.m. every Sunday. So you can tune in, catch all of this, and we got to have this guy back, dog. You got to convince him. I think he got ready to convince.
I think so. I think he's ready to come back, and I'm looking forward to more. Michelle, do you have a question?
Oh, okay. I was on mute. No, actually, I just have a comment. I think it's just amazing what how AI has played a role in the betterment of just all the industries involved, not only in the healthcare industry. And what you're doing, Dr. Castro, is really amazing to make the process of healthcare, not only for the healthcare professionals, and also for the patients, make it better. So kudos to you on that.
Well, kudos. And I tell you, we're down to the last minute of the show. And I cannot wait till we get you back on again, Dr. Castro. Dr. Mike, absolutely fantastic. Another home run. Dr. Cooley, thanks so much for putting this together. Our viewers and our listeners out there, thanks for tuning in to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. And I tell you what, always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, on some networks. So we'll see you then.
It's your life.